Hi everyone, welcome to our X-Tribe webcast. I'm so happy to have you with us this week. And as you can see in the small windows, we have amazing speakers. We have Cindy, we have Maria Mata, we have Eric Gamio from Peru, we have Shai, and we're gonna have a great webcast. And before I start, I must give a confession. It's been 14 days, 2 weeks since I got back from Alumba. Guys, I am still flying. I'm still flying, and I wish I could tap on your shoulders, each one of you, and transfer you. Close your eyes and feel like I'm tapping your shoulder, okay? I want to transfer you the pride I had there with this amazing company, the execution of the event and the product and the belief I got there and the confidence I got there and the leadership they have, so humble and nice. Guys, it was really amazing, and you need all of you to be at the next Alumbra. And with that being said, I want to go to our coming event in our region, USA, in Dallas, September 16 to 18. It's our next very powerful event, Explode, we call it, and everyone who is not registered, please go to the website, our website, the xtribeonline.com or the Fusion Xtribe, and register. And make sure you book the hotel, and you and your team. It's very important to bring your team and be there. Believe me, it will change everything in your business and in the way you see things. One announcement that Wendy asked me to give you is people who were in Orlando and registered early bird for Dallas. There are 27 of them who their card didn't go through. They got an email and notice didn't return anything. And if you want still to have the early bird, please go immediately to the website and register. And if one of you knows about your team who is one of that, so please make sure to do that. It's very important that everyone will come to Dallas. It's going to be life-changing event. And from this event, I want to go to announcements. I have two announcements to make about rank investment. I'm very excited about that. So there is Miguel Angel Acantaros Vargas, who closed platinum. From gold, he advanced to platinum. And there is Jaime and Maru Loker, who closed double platinum. Woo! This is really exciting. And this is our announcement for this webcast. And with that, I want to go to the next speaker, Maria Marta from Costa Rica. She's gold. She's a very good friend of mine. She's an entrepreneur and a very sharp businesswoman. And she's a mother as well. So Maria Marta will talk about the athletic performance product. To you, Maria.
Thank you, Yafa. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be in this call because I'm passionate about taking the products, and I'm passionate about our profession and Fusion. And I want you to, all the time that I'm going to be talking about the products, please make a parallel of products and physical results, or the discipline of products is the same as the discipline of the business. So when we all start this business, we start with an explosive activity. We're telling everybody because we're really excited that we're joining this wonderful business. And when we start on a project for our better health, it's the same thing. We tell everybody, hey, I started this program, I'm eating this way, and you talk to everybody about it. And it's the similar process. But there are certain things that we have always to keep in mind, that any discipline, being the discipline of a physical activity or the discipline of the business or the discipline of eating, discipline comes from the word disciple. It's that you follow, you are a disciple of a certain thing you believe in. And that is how come you take it upon every day to make it part of your life. So the products and physical activity and the business is a discipline because we have this commitment to ourselves and to our cost of what we're doing, and we are looking to achieve a goal. And this being said, this has to be able to be measured. So I want to share with you my experience because I've started taking the product since November, and I've always taken care of what I eat. I've always done exercise, and I wanted to be able to measure what I was doing. And I think I mentioned before that I first started with the pack that the company has, the 514 pack. But after I did that last year, this year I went into an 8-week program to have a better fitness with my daughter. And so I'm going to be 52 in November. And just the fact that I was able to keep up a fitness program with my 20-year-old baby, that is progress. But anyway, before you start any physical program, you have to do like a physical fitness test that tells you about your progress. So I ran the mile, and I did the push-ups, and I did the squats, and I did the plank, and I did all of this. And basically, my allies every day were Davita Energía Extra T, because I'm a morning person. So I would take this in the morning. So after I took Davita Energía, I would make myself a hydrating drink that's the pre-sport that you do not get in the US, but that you can have the same effect with collateral damage if you take passion, which would be really fun. And then after you do the exercise, you can take either the post-sport or the flex tea, because basically what you want to make sure is you have all the amino acids and that you rehydrate. So you have the energy while you're working, the stamina that you need to keep up, and then everything that needs to help your muscles to recuperate and to be flexible and everything. So the things that I could measure were amazing, because in what I gained the most was in flexibility. And I couldn't believe that, because if I measure everything, my whole life problem, my strength has been that I'm a strong woman, and my weakness has been that I'm not a flexible person. And I got the flexibility that I wanted, so I'm looking forward to that every day more. And so that was one thing that I could measure, and I was really happy about. And another thing that I was really happy about is that I could keep up with people half my age in Alumbra, because Alumbra, we were only 50 people from Costa Rica, so we got there every day really early so that we could sit together. So it was like going in a 3-day festival for more days that were 17-hour days, and I had the energy to keep up with that, and I absolutely know that it is because of the products. So I'm gonna stop right now, but I want to tell you that people like me, or the person that I'm going to introduce now, have completely changed our lives because of what this profession and the products do to us. I'm going to pass now to Cindy Lapp, who is a gold from Colorado. She's been 10 years in the profession. She's a grandma. She's sweet. She's beautiful. And she's doing this business because she wants to have a different retirement and leave a legacy for her family and for her community. So please say hi to Cindy Lapp.
Thank you, Maria Marta. That was an awesome introduction. And I'm so happy to talk tonight about how you take a person from your list through the process to become a member. And I just want to share with you how I've been doing that process and how I coach my team to do that process. And just know that this is just one way. Your sponsor might have a different way, but this is how I've been doing this and how I've been taught for doing it for 10 years. So I'm going to assume that you already have your list, right? You've made a list of 50 to 100 people minimum, and that you've narrowed it down to your top 20 people. And then when you get that narrowed down to the top 20, you want to narrow it down to your top 2 people because especially if you're brand new, you know, we start with two people, a captain for your left and a captain for your right. And then I think it's a good idea to talk to your sponsor about those top two people that you're going to invite to look at Fusion, and go over with your sponsor, you know, who they are, and get clear on the invitation. And one thing about the invitation, well, there's many things about the invitation, but what I like to stress is that it comes from the heart, right, and not from the head. If you are memorizing it or worried about whether you're going to say it right, or then you're coming from your head. And really what you want to do is just come from your heart and speak to their pain, right? And so hopefully you know their pain, and if not, you can refer to your own pain, but it really helps if you know this person well, which you probably do since they're your top two, that you refer to their pain. And then just know that the invitation is not the show, it's the commercial for the show, right? You're just creating some a curiosity about what the show is. So if you're talking more than a couple sentences, maybe more than a minute, you're being the show, and that is really critical in this process. So when I have called people, when I first started, I had a couple people that joined without wanting any more information, right? We call that on our team, we have a fun thing we call getting in the van, and it's fun, and what that looks like is if your best friend pulls up in your driveway and they say, come on, Cindy, get in the van, you're going to come on this adventure with me, it's going to be so much fun, just get in. I'm going to do that because I trust my friend, I love my friend, and I want to be on an adventure with my friend. So I'm not suggesting that that's what you actually say to people, but just be prepared that there are some people that don't need much information. Just the fact that you are doing this, they love and trust you, might be all the information that they need. So just know that that could happen. Most people need more information, right? And so we have this amazing app that, you know, once they say yes, they'd like more information, that you can say, okay, I'm going to send you a video by text or email. I ask them which they prefer, and I make sure now that I say I'm sending it from an app, so that they kind of start to hear that word and know that this is a simple, streamlined process that anybody can do. So that's very important to mention that, right? And so then I ask them when they can watch it or how much time do they need. If they say, well, I can watch it, you know, tomorrow, then I set that appointment to follow up with them. And this is about very diligently making those appointments. And our app is so awesome. It has that ability right then and there in our app to make that, you know, that follow-up reminder comes up on your phone, and you go, oh, I have to call Mary and see, you know, what she thought of the video. In the meantime, I have notified my sponsor that tomorrow at 2 o'clock, or, you know, whenever I've set that time up, that there could be a possible three-way call. Because like I said, I'm not the show, I'm just the commercial for the show. The video was the show, and now I'm going to have an expert answer their questions. So the time comes, and what I say to my prospect is, what did you like best about the video? Because you want them to think positively, and it's a kind of a funny mind thing that if I said, well, what do you think? So many people are programmed to think negatively that I don't give them that opportunity, right? I just say, what did you love best, right? And then they could say, oh, I love that it's just that Fusion is just launching in the US, or they say, I love it that Alvaro has 6 patents, or whatever it is they say. And then the minute that they start asking questions, that's when I say, hang on. I said, I want to get my business partner on the phone with you. He's an expert. He's been doing this. He's super successful at this. And I want you to get the best answers. And so then I three-way in my sponsor, and the sponsor takes over. And I don't interrupt the sponsor. I just listen. And this is where I learned the business, is by listening in on three-way calls. And you want the prospect to really get that this is somebody important. So I'm, you know, that if I take time away from the expert, that's not giving them the respect that they deserve, right? So I just listen. I don't say a word. And the sponsor will, there's no convincing that goes on. It's just there to answer questions and any concerns or anything that comes up. And then if there are no more questions, the sponsor will drop off, and that's where the juicy part of the conversation often takes place, right? It's like then it's you and the prospect, and the prospect could, ask a few more questions or say a few things. But this is a very critical time to really be present with your prospect and find out what do they need. Maybe they're ready to sign up, right? And if they are, then they don't need another video or they don't need another phone call. But maybe they do need more information, or maybe they need to talk to a spouse, or maybe they'd like to come to a leadership academy. So it's really about being with that prospect and seeing what they need. It becomes about them, and that comes from listening, and then provide that. So if they need a few more days, maybe they need another video, you make another appointment. Again, this is about making appointments. I even try to get an appointment when someone tells me this isn't a fit. And people say to me, how do you do that? And it's because I say, well, I get that this isn't the right timing for you. That's totally fine. Would you mind if I called you back in, say, 2 to 3 months and see if your situation may have changed? 99% of the time, they will say yes to that, right? And then you have their permission to follow up again. So I think that, the average person needs maybe 5, 7, maybe even 9 exposures before they will join. Some will jump in the van with you, and some, it might take a year, and that's totally fine. We are with them and keeping them in the loop and dripping on them and letting them know there's another leadership academy. If there's a new video, we send it to them, and keeping them in the loop. So I think that that's what has been successful for my team, and it is a process, right? We want people to make a clear decision, a clear yes or a clear no. And until we have either one of those, then it's still a process, right? So with that being said, I have the amazing honor and privilege to introduce Eric Gambio, who is a diamond with Fusion and one of the top 10 earners. And he has no idea how much he inspired me at the Orlando launch. He said 2 things to the audience that I remember every day of this business. He's such an inspiration and a support to us all. So Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I love being on these webcasts and seeing the Fusion family expanding worldwide, more than 15 countries now. And what I'm here to say, to talk about a little bit is, now, your friend, your family member, your prospect, your candidate is now a team member. So how do you get him to be a leader? And this is a process. So I have 4 points here, and I recommend everybody write down. I have concentration problems, so I have everything written out. I have a lot of textbooks of summaries of trainings and everything. So 4 points. First, it all starts with a good action plan. If you don't have a good action plan where you can actually tell your candidate about the relationship you're going to have. You're not a boss, you're not a dad, you're not a priest, you're not a psychologist, you're an upline, a sponsor. So you got to kind of explain that to him or to her. Then you got to let him know that this is his business or her business. It's not yours, So they have to take action upon their business, and that's why it's so important that they know why they got in. What do they want to solve in their lives? Before you start dreaming, you gotta kill your nightmares, So what do you want to solve in your life? Because that's gonna give you the motivation to actually get something done, Then in that action plan, you actually have to equip this person. You gotta give him the tools, the amazing Xstripe app, the material, the scripts, everything, so that he's already have the armor, to get onto the field. Then you have step 2, which is duplication. Duplication is what we call that everybody should do the same technical things so that everybody can actually have success in the business. So duplication in the technical things is how to present the business and do a home meeting, which is not rocket science. It's very simple. Trust me. Whatever you do in your work today, your job, is more difficult than doing a home meeting on a simple presentation. Then, for example, signing up people in the Office replicated website that the company gives you. Sending people through the escalation process, which actually Cindy Lab just told you about. Doing an action plan. Those technical things, your new potential leader has got to do that in a week. I have lost my patience in the last decade in this lovely profession, so I try for him to get rid of me in the first week, technically, in those technical things, because I want to get to the mentorship part of the process that's going to last for decades, and that's what the process that I love. If I'm still the little wheels of that potential leader bicycle, is never gonna be a leader. So I have to understand the difference between helping and interfering with the leadership process of that new potential leader. Then, point 3, I have to work on the beliefs of my new potential leader. There are 4 core beliefs. 1 is the profession, multi-level marketing, network marketing. 2 is the company, the company, the product. 3, another belief is the team. And 4, it's you. So those 4 core beliefs have to build up in belief. They gotta evolve, And the only way those 4 beliefs can actually grow is by the 5 important, what you can say, feeders of those beliefs, which are books, audios, events, using and referring of the product, and talking with leaders. These 5 things are the only feeders that are going to feed those 4 beliefs. So you gotta check which belief is your new potential leader weak on. Maybe he loves the products, the company is amazing, the team, of course, but maybe he doesn't trust himself. So you gotta channel all those books, audios, conversations towards self-esteem, towards empowerment. Because maybe the guy believes in himself a lot, he believes in the network marketing profession, believes in the team, but not so much in the company for some reason. So you gotta channel all those feeders to products in belief, So that's important thing. And number 4 is be there for him. I learned you're gonna be a coach, and I've learned that I don't buy anybody's excuses. But I have to work all day. That's the reason I didn't get to the leadership academy. I have like 600 kids, so I couldn't make it to the home meeting. I get it. I was there. you know. Um, but you got to understand that not buying an excuse is not the same as not being a listening ear, you know. People have troubles, have challenges in their life, so be there as a friend, you know. If you expect your team, your leaders to trust you, trust goes both ways. So you gotta be there for him. And the last thing I can say about this is, um, you cannot make somebody a leader. You just can equip him. You just can give him love, attention, and being there for him. But he or she has to become a leader because she really knows why she got into fusion, what she wants to solve, and where does she want to go. So that's it about how to become a team leader, from a team leader to a potential leader. Now, to wrap up the night, I want to present a person that I really admire. I saw him with his wife in front of 10,000 people just a few weeks ago telling their story. He's an entrepreneur, a multipreneur, but most of what he gives to the people is love, and that's what he irradiated in that 10,000 people arena. Love, leadership, and vision. So now you're going to have him in the flesh, Mr. Shai Samuel.
Thank you so much, Eric, and it's so kind of you, the introduction, but also the training. I learn a lot. I learn a lot from any of you tonight, guys and girls, and that's a beauty. It's so wonderful that we can have these weekly meetings across countries, across continent, and feel at home. And we learn so much. And I know those things, but I need to remind myself, and that's cool. So yeah, we are getting close to finishing another week. With Fusion, we have actually our compensation plan is weekly, and usually the week is closed every Wednesday. Every now and then they interrupt the order, but we got back to the Wednesday, thank God. So this week we have another. It's actually more than a full day, because it's tomorrow night. So we have like I don't know, 28 hours or something like that, and every minute counts. The beauty is, in order to change your result, you only need one person, one new person that are gonna make a difference in your business, and you cannot know who it's gonna be. I mean, yeah, you can enroll the biggest, person. I mean, the strongest person you can think of, but and I'm sure all of you agree that you will be surprised by people that you think that come to the business and do amazing, and people that you don't expect them to do anything and they do magics, and they don't need to bring, 1,000 people. They only need to bring one that will bring 1,000, somewhere, down the line. So that can be the magic. So what do we need to make the difference for this week, and use the next 20 something hours that we have? So if you have a team, you need to go to the back office. You need to open the enrollment line report and just go over to your leaders and see the percentage and how close they are. Look at, if someone is missing ownership, and I do it a lot. And I see, a lot of people that you need just to remind them that they're still missing, 20 points or 40 points in order to qualify for something. And that report is the dream, the wet dream of anyone in this profession, because it gives you everything on a silver plate. It's so easy to do it. So just go on that report, open it, and go over the leaders that you have, and make sure, sometime, people just forget. Sometimes they are not aware, especially at the beginning. So we need to remind them. And I'm grateful always for my upline to remind me, even though I'm on my targets, and I don't need to be reminded. Still, it shows me that he cares, that he look for me, and that's what Eric was talking. So this is if you're a leader and you have a team. But what happens if you don't? Then you need to work with what you have, and what you have is your list. Okay, so if you don't have a team tonight, it's a good time to take your list and work on it, and increase it. The big challenge of most of the people is the list is too small. And this is very easy to change, because you can double the list in an hour. Whatever the size of it, you can double it in an hour. And once you have that list refreshed, okay, and once you go over the list of the people that you already been in contact, and see maybe you can do another visit with them, another phone call, another message, something, then what you need is to make new phone calls, and there is a concept which we call the funnel. I hope you guys can see, that's the funnel. And the funnel is a place where you get people into the process. And the way you want it, you want to have at least 50 to 100 people in that process. Some of them, they are not ready. Some of them you don't, you're waiting for the response. Some of them you don't, but they are in the process. They are, in your process. And then if you have, 30 to 50 to 100 people in the funnel, and you add new ones, like 2 to 5 new ones every day, then some people will go off that funnel, out that funnel, and some of them will say no, and that will convert to not now, as Cindy told us, and some of them will convert to yes, and that's the process. So we need more information. More information is in the funnel. But if you have enough people in the funnel, then you have enough people that are processing through the funnel, and you will have people to join you tonight and tomorrow. And so if your team is not big enough, and always it's never big enough, and I'm sure that anyone in this call will admit that we need more people, then you need to go and visit your list, increase it, and make another few phone calls, and make a commitment, because by tomorrow night you can enroll your diamond. It will take some time to come to fruition, but you can find your diamond tomorrow. And I had a discussion with Eric just before that call, and I reminded him an amazing line of training that I learned over the time, and that is the only question that matters in this profession. And that question is how many, and the answer to that question is just a number. And the way we teach is, we say, don't give me a story, just give me a number, okay? And the question is, how many people have seen your business today by a presentation, by a product, by an event, by a brochure, by any other means? How many people have seen, how many people have been exposed to the product or to your business today? And the answer to this question is just a number. And if the number is 0, okay, that's a number. It's not a good number, and we can change it tonight, but it's a number. And truly, don't accept anything but a number, because we tend to give a story. And it's very easy to give story, but the story doesn't get you to where you want to be. What gets you to where you want to be is a number. So just change that number tonight, and make it happen. So I wish all of you, this will be your breakthrough week, and then we have the next week, which is start just the next morning. So don't wait for next Monday, and then make sure that you'll be on the Leadership Academy next to you, and let's make it rain. So thank you, all of you, and I wish you amazing, amazing evening tonight. Ciao.